India-Canada stalemate continues for now. Tensions are flaring between the two countries, and earlier this week, following Trudeau's explosive allegations of a potential involvement of the Indian agents in the killing of Khalistani extremist Hardeep Singh Nijjar on his country's soil on 18th June in British Columbia. Trudeau went on to say that Canada shared evidence of credible allegations on Nijjar's killing with India many weeks ago. He further went on to say that New Delhi should commit constructively with Ottawa to establish the facts in this very serious matter. Responding to Canada's statement, the Ministry of External Affairs has gone on to say no specific information was shared with India by the Canadian side. India is very much willing to look into any information provided.
In regards to India, Canada has shared the credible allegations that I talked about on Monday with India. We did that many weeks ago, and we are there to work constructively with India, and we hope that they engage with us so that we can get to the bottom of this very serious matter.
India Today Television's Anisha Mathur visited one of Canada's oldest gurdwaras in Brampton, which is the hub of Indian Sikh population. This is the same gurdwara which in July there was an informal referendum also was held about this Khalistan issue. Here's a ground report coming in.
I'm currently outside the Gurdwara Singh Sabha at Malton in the Greater Toronto area of Brampton. This is one of the oldest gurdwaras on the east coast of Canada, and this is also the place where in July a referendum on Khalistan with more than 42,000 Sikhs gathering had happened. This is also the place where the protest march against the Indian government had started, ending at the Canadian consulate in the Toronto city. Even today, the langar hall of the area of this particular Gurdwara has photos of Bhindranwale and other Khalistani terrorists displayed proudly as martyrs. The question really now is, how exactly are the Indian and Canadian governments going to handle the deep-rooted fissures when it comes to the Sikh community here in Canada? At the Malton Gurdwara, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
All right, so this is the big NIA crackdown right now on Khalistan extremists. The agency has decided to confiscate the house and land of the self-styled General Counsel of the outlawed Sikh for Justice propagandist, violent outfit that constantly seeks violence against India, Gurpant Singh Pannun. His properties have been confiscated in Amritsar and Chandigarh. India-Canada stalemate, however, meanwhile also continues. The Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau claiming Canada has already shared proof. India has now decided to start cracking down on these extremists who have had properties in India and continue to ask for violence against India.
Amid the India-Canada diplomatic face-off, the NIA has intensified its crackdown on Khalistani terrorists. The anti-terror agency has confiscated the properties of Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwan Pannun in Amritsar and Chandigarh.
We are in Amritsar, Kankod area, and 46 canals of land which belongs to a Sikh for Justice chief, Gurpatwan Singh Pannu, now confiscated. This land is no longer the property of Gurpatwan Singh Pannu, who has been spilling out heat against India, the anti-national activities or anti-India activities, sitting in United States, sitting in Canada, talking about referendum and the other activities.
Sikh for Justice के बैंड संगठन और आतंकी गुरपंत सिंह पन्नू के घर पर NIA की टीम पहुंची हुई है। चंडीगढ़ पुलिस यहां पर मौजूद है और बाकायदा इस पर बोर्ड लगाया गया है अंग्रेजी में और पंजाबी में, जिस पर लिखा हुआ है शेयर ऑफ हाउस नंबर 2033 सेक्टर 15C चंडीगढ़ ओन्ड बाय गुरपंत सिंह पन्नू ए प्रोक्लेम्ड ऑफेंडर इन NIA केस रजिस्टर्ड नंबर ये। यानी कि अब गुरपंत सिंह पन्नू का इस कोठी में जो हिस्सा है जिसे 2020 में अटैच किया गया था, अब उसको NIA की टीम ने बाकायदा जब्त कर लिया है।
India Today has accessed the slain Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's dossier. This exposes the Canadian government's claims and reveals that Nijjar was behind Khalistani terror modules executing terrorist acts. Nijjar organized arms training camps in Canada where he trained Khalistani terrorists with AK-47s, sniper rifles and pistols before sending them to India to carry out targeted killings. The dossier also exposes the role of Pakistan and ISI. It reveals how Nijjar met Babbar Khalsa chief Jakhtar Singh Tara in Pakistan to plot attacks in India.
What we know is this entire house is secluded. At this point of time, very few people walking by. But there is this NIA poster which talks about this property being confiscated. Now, this is an area where he has left way back in 1996. Some of his relatives have been coming here, but the fact remains that the family has been far, far away in Canada for several decades now.
Seriously, these allegations.
This comes after India read the riot act to Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau for claiming India's hand in killing terrorist Nijjar.
In regards to India, Canada has shared the credible allegations that I talked about on Monday with India. We did that many weeks ago, and we are there to work constructively with India, and we hope that they engage with us so that we can get to the bottom of this very serious matter.
There is a degree of prejudice here, They have made the allegations, they have taken action on them. To us, it seems or it appears that these allegations by the Government of Canada are primarily politically driven. No specific information has been shared by Canada on this case, either then or before or after. We have, as we have said, or I think it's been made very clear, we are willing to look at any specific information. We have conveyed this to the Canadian side, made it clear to them that we are willing to look at any specific information that is provided to us. But so far, we have not received any such specific information.
Trudeau, meanwhile, faced a massive loss of face. The Premier of British Columbia and Canada, David Eby, a Trudeau ally himself, revealed that the proof against India tom-tommed by Trudeau may have just been information available on the internet.
In terms of the specific incident in Surrey, I was contacted by the Prime Minister. He briefed me about what he was going to say in the Parliament, which he then went on and said. I expressed my frustration in the meeting with the CSIS director about our inability to get more concrete information about this kind of thing.
The long-standing ties between India and Canada currently under a cloud because of the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar and the Trudeau government's constant allegations against India, even as India asks for actual hard evidence. At the same time, the Trudeau government being questioned by its own people, by the Canadian politicians themselves, with David Eby, the Premier of British Columbia, questioning the evidence that is supposedly being shown by the Trudeau administration with regard to the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
As Canada continues to stand with Khalistani extremists, the already sour diplomatic relations between the two countries have hit a new low. With Satyendra Chauhan in Chandigarh and Kamaljeet in Amritsar, Bureau Report, India Today.